You are now listening to N21FM, a Pokemon podcast. My name is Glenn. I'm joined here as always by my wonderful friend and co-host Johnny Sushi. How you doing tonight, Johnny?
Doing good. Little tired, but
Yeah,
doing good.
definitely
Busy day.
feeling, definitely feeling the tired, feeling the busyness. The day we're recording this is daylight saving, so I kind of have to think that it's like an hour after what it actually is. So we're
hmm
basically starting this recording at 10 o'clock at night,
Yep.
which feels rough, brother.
Oh, definitely.
Oh
God, it has
man.
been it's been nice to have the kind of the darkness, but now it's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. But
Oh man.
I am excited to have longer days. The sun will be out more. My seasonal depression will finally go back from whence it came. Hopefully it stays there. I get to see the sun again. It'll be awesome. I'm so ready. Oh man. But today we have a couple things to talk about. Before we get started though, before we get really into things, I want to remind everybody listening or watching at home to leave a like and a comment on the video. Give me a subscribe if you're new around here. We post these podcasts every single week. And I'm working on other content. If anybody was looking forward to the Future Box video this week, it did not happen because PTCG Live was brutal, just like not in good shape, and then also having to regrind back up to Master Ball tier is a nightmare. So that video is just not coming out. I've also been stuck on Sablezard for a long time, so I'll have to find motivation to get back to Future Hands. But yeah, also, in addition to leaving a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, please visit us over on patreon.com/terminalcreative for bonus episodes and early access to every episode. We're recording this on Saturday night. I plan on having the bonus episode up by Sunday evening, Monday morning. Normally, it just gives you a little bit of early access and access to a whole slew. We've done several episodes of N21 Plus by now, right? That is
Yeah.
our mature audience's bonus
Yeah.
show. That it's been a lot of fun. We've done some Slay the Spire stuff. We've done some just extra Pokemon stuff. And today, in the bonus episode, we're actually going to end up talking about some of our early testing and some of our recent victories in the Pokemon trading card game. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, please make sure to join us over at patreon.com/terminalcreative. And if you want any other ways to support the channel in general, check the links in the description below. It helps out a lot. That is the only way that we're ever going to be monetizing this podcast. We will never be running ads or taking sponsorships. So you won't have to get like a mid-roll ad from like Dragon Shields or something like that. You'll instead just be able to directly support us, not have to feel pressured to buy a bunch of stuff. You'll just be paying for straight up content. And I think that's a better deal, at least. It's
Cost of a pack of
$5 a
cards.
month. Yeah, cost of a pack of cards, $5 a month. I know this is like a long ad read for the Patreon, but I really wanted to make sure I drove it home this episode, just because I feel like a lot of people don't know that they're missing out on kind of a lot of content over there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have like almost full we have almost full episodes worth of content over there.
True.
For some of the actually we have full episode worth content
Yeah,
for a couple of them for sure. So yeah, come on, check it out.
It's gonna be super exciting. And then a little bit of housekeeping as well. The weekend of the 22nd of March 2025, we will not have an episode that week. So if you're looking on if you're watching on free feeds, on the 26th there will be no episode, unless I can manage to scrape together something really quick and dirty, even if it's like kind of a solo episode or something. We'll figure something out maybe, but don't get your hopes up. That's gonna be a really busy week. Johnny and I are both out of town. I'm going to Jamaica. And Johnny, what are you doing? Where are you going? I had never asked you.
I'm going.
Or if that's
I'm gonna
private.
go. No. It's all cool. I'm gonna go visit some friends and family in Tampa.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we're headed down for a friend's wedding and gonna share in a fun friends Warped Tour themed baby shower. So
Nice.
super excited for that.
Oh, that's gonna be so sick. Oh man, I love that.
Yep.
It's a good week for weddings, apparently.
Very much, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, it's all the early springtime ones kind of coming out, and people, ready to kind of celebrate. I think after the winter.
Mm-hmm. I can totally see that. I love celebrating after winter. One of my favorite things to celebrate once the winter finally clears up is a brand new set of Pokemon cards that comes out. Usually every early spring we get a new set. And this year, it's going to be Journey Together, and I'm pretty excited about that set because it's got some really cool stuff in it that I am excited to talk about in the bonus episode.
Yeah.
But for today, we're going to be reviewing a different set of Pokemon cards that will be in the slightly more distant future, the Heatwave Arena set. This is the first half of our Destined Rivals set?
Yep, that's correct. Heatwave Arena is Japan's set for the year, and it's going to be the first half of the cards we receive for Destined Rivals. It's going to have new trainers Pokemon, including one for Misty, Ethan, Cynthia, and Arvin, it looks like.
Yes, and three of these decks are good.
Yeah.
Two of them are good. Two of them are like fine.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll all depend on how the game shakes up.
And it looks like the cards that you might care about more to play with might not be the trainers Pokemon once again.
That is very true, surprisingly. There's some interesting ones in here that I definitely want to talk about. So I guess same as with Journey Together, we'll just kind of dive right in.
Yeah.
We are using the PokeBeach article with the Heatwave Arena all 63 main set cards revealed. This will also have translations that I believe are sourced by... Oh yeah, no, they're directly crediting Justin Basil for the translations. So
yes.
like we thought when we were in the pre-show.
Yeah.
We're starting with grass types, and there's quite a few of note here. Is there anything that you want to start with in here? I know one you looked at that I'm also excited about.
I think I guess we'll just start with the first one on the list just because it's a trainer's Pokemon.
Sure.
We've got Ethan's Pinsir. It's 120 HP grass type with the moves Vice Grip for 1 grass energy, do 20 damage. And then for 3 colorless, 1 point return, 70 plus damage. If any of your Ethan's Pokemon are knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon during their last turn, this attack does 100 more. So it's kind of like
it's not good.
Yeah.
This will be used, I think, if the Ethan deck becomes really popular into a meta where Charizard EX is really popular.
Yeah,
I think that's like the only circumstance where this sees play.
Yeah, I think when we kind of looked at the Ethan's cards when they first revealed, we did discuss a little bit of like the Ho-Oh EX, and because of Ho-Oh EX's text, you can put the fire energy on the Pinsir.
Oh, that's
and then
true.
Use the 1 point return since it's 3 colorless. So you do have a way to kind of get this guy powered up in a single turn.
True, you Ho-Oh and then you jet energy.
Yeah, that's absolutely like a thing you can do for sure. I still don't think it's gonna be great, but it is like Charizard Revenge. It's in Revenge.
It's low-key baby Iron Leaves.
Yeah, pretty much. It really is. Is that Temporal or is that Twilight Masquerade?
I think it's Twilight Masquerade. I'm looking it up right now. It is Twilight Masquerade.
Okay.
It has the Avenging Edge for a grass and 2 colorless, where it's 100.
Yeah.
And if any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 60 more, so it's 160.
Gotcha.
So Ethan's Pinsir is just a little better than Baby Iron Leaves.
Yeah, a little better just in terms of like total damage. Its base damage is a little weaker, but the bonus is stronger, and it does have kind of an easier way to get itself powered up if you stick within the archetype.
Yeah, certainly.
So it's kind of cool. But I don't think that one's going to be much. Yeah, I think the one that I'm most excited for out of all the grass though is this next one.
Yes, I was surprised you didn't even lead with this.
I did, but I feel I at least gotta owe it to the
I
trainer
guess.
Pokemon, if nothing else.
Sure.
But the next big one we have is Yanmega EX.
Yes.
I'm very excited for this guy. Real quick, this guy Yanmega EX is a grass type, 280 HP, stage 1, evolves from a Yanma that's also in the set. But Yanmega EX has the ability Buzz Boost. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may search your deck for 3 basic grass energy and attach them to this Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck. And then it's got
crazy ability.
It's that ability is insane. Like, that's already an insane ability. But then the attack it has Jet Cyclone for 3 grass and 1 colorless, 210 damage. Move 3 energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon.
Literally so sick.
This thing is insane, and I could see I like envision a ton of ways that you could include it.
Yeah.
I also really love Yanmega. I've got a thing for a lot of the Gen 4 like stage 1 and stage 2 Pokemon.
I totally see that.
Kind of came. Well, I guess they're all stage 1s really, if you include like Electivire and Magmortar and stuff like that. But I've got a huge thing for like
Electivire is so sick. Sorry,
I
so love cool. Electivire. No,
absolutely. I love all of those.
Who was it? Was it Paul in Sinnoh League Victors that had the bananas Electivire? I don't even remember. That's such a long time ago. I don't even remember. Yeah. But or like Galactic Battles or something. I remember one of the I think it was the Paul character had like a bonkers Electivire.
Yeah. It's just cool is so stuff. Cool. I love Gen 4. They came out with like all these like stage 1 evos for like Pokemon that were like from first and second gen that really wanted something, and they delivered on that. And even what was it? I think they even did a couple of stage or Gen 3 ones too, because like you get a Probopass too. True. Coming in for like your Nose Pass evolution. Like they really decided to just go crazy with like giving stuff evolutions.
Yeah.
I love all of that because of that. And Yanmega's so cool.
Yeah.
Yanmega's so cool.
I'm a Gen 4 head. I love Yanmega. I love bug types. I've learned that about myself recently. I'm a big bug type enjoyer. Some of my favorite, like Genesect, Yanmega, Scolipede.
Yeah.
Scolipede on top, by the way. I love Scolipede. And then like
very understandable.
What's the other one? Centiskorch rocks.
Centiskorch is cool.
I love all those guys.
I've always been like a huge fan of the what was it? Shedinja to
Shedinja rocks.
Ninjask and Ninjask.
It was
Nincada
into Ninjask and Shedinja.
Yeah, I always thought that was such a cool like mechanic for
such a
Pokemon
cool design.
Evolution. You got 2 Pokemon out of 1. Like
to buy one get one, baby.
That's so.
I love that. Anyway, on to the actual viability of this card. I think it's gonna be really good. Literally, this card just says put a Jet Energy on here and swing for 210.
Yeah, 100%. Like
and
you're cooking a lot with this thing.
Yeah, and if you do lose, if you get knocked out, or like your energy gets knocked out by something else, you can always just. I think it's in the previous. Is it this set or the next one that reprints energy recycler?
I think it's in. I think it's coming
not in
this set.
No, Sacred Ash is in this, but energy recycler is not.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Very odd. But I know it's coming soon, so like energy recycler will be lit.
Yeah, 100%.
Very cool. Yeah. I like this a lot. Jet Energy is going to be so good next format. Yeah. I could imagine this with like I don't know, another grass type that gets a lot of really good benefit from a high energy count. Like even just like this with grass with Teal Mask Gogurpon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just draw cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
I think one of the cool ideas that I had for it was like throwing this guy in with like Raging Bolt as like a way to get your energy in play and also like just punch something,
Yeah.
Like, I think that could be kind of a cool method instead of just relying on like Teal Mask Ogrepon for like your deck draw. What if you get,
True.
you know, your Yanma and then Yanmega out onto it, attack with a Jet Energy, get all that energy out. Now you've got a 2/10 attack, like an attacker that's doing 2/10, knocking out basically like all the support basic EXs, Ogrepons, Fezzes, Mews, Squawks, like all of them getting KO'd from this thing. Yeah, just super cool. Loving the idea of it. So
yeah,
I'm excited to
it's super
see
cool.
what comes from this.
I do wish that the Yanma was one free retreat, but I think it's fine. Let's start moving on a little bit because there's a lot of Pokemon in this set that are actually kind of noteworthy. The very next one being Cynthia's Roserade, which is going to be really impactful. I think the Cynthia deck is going to be one of the better ones for sure. Cynthia's Roserade is a grass type 130 HP stage 1 Pokemon that evolves from Cynthia's Roselia. It's got the ability Glory Cheer, where your Cynthia's Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. And this does not have any text that says it doesn't stack. So you're just doing more damage the more Roserades you have. And there's some other cards in here that boost the Cynthia's Pokemon that will make this a menace to deal with. It's also got a Leaf Steps attack for 80 damage for Grass Colorless. It's not really an attacking Pokemon.
No.
You'd rather use another Pokemon in this list, and we will get there when we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I'm actually okay with it not stacking, or with it stacking too on this one, because like we saw with Hop, right? Like Hop was like, okay, well, you know, you have Hop's Bag, you have Nest Balls, those get you the Hop's Snorlax. So the Hop Snorlax doesn't stack because it's a lot easier to get that out. With Roserade, you're not able to play Roselia and then evolve it into Roserade next turn. There's no way to do that currently.
Right.
You're going to have to, at minimum, like TM Evo to get it out, and
or just draw.
Otherwise, just draw into it and play it down onto your Roselia. So I think I'm okay with that. Like, I think that's pretty fair. There's a lot of setup to it, but I think trading setup for more power is fine like this.
Yeah. Geez, there's a lot of grass guys in here that are good too. There's the next one I wanted to talk about is the very next one on the list is Shaman. I love that we're getting cuties as bench barriers. Spoiler alert, this is a bench barrier Pokemon. This Shaman is a grass type with 80 HP. It's a basic, has the ability Flower Curtain, where you prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon without a rule box by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So what that means is single prize Pokemon will be protected by a bench barrier, right? Which I think in the era right now, with Terra types being in the game, feels very, very strong. Later on, we'll have to see, because not as many rule boxes are going to have that Terra typing, so they're not going to have inherent bench barrier. But also, like a lot of the really strong snipe attacks right now aren't frequently targeting big EXs anyway. So we'll have to see how that all shakes out. I like that it's 80 HP, so you can't just buddy poffin it out. You have to use an S-Ball or an Artisan or something like that to go get this guy. I love it's a little cutie just drinking some water. I love Shaman. Shaman's so cool.
That's super cool. I just wanted to say I actually really like that it's 80 HP.
Yeah. That feels good.
I think that like one of the issues with Manaphy in current format is Manaphy is, especially with like Poffin now, but like even with like Battle VIP Pass, it was kind of the same way. And maybe almost worse right now because of Poffin, because Poffin works any turn. Manaphy is such a low committal option. If you have the space in your deck for a Manaphy, or you can easily create the space in your deck for Manaphy, and you know that your deck needs bench barrier, like Manaphy just feels a little too easy to get out sometimes. And I don't want to say that to like just say like, oh, it's a bad card, because I think it's perfect. I think it was needed at the time that it came out, and it's still needed now. but I think that Shaman provides more of like a committal option, especially when like right now bench snipes. I think like the big bench snipes we have now and coming up. Well, at least coming up when this is
when this
like,
comes out, it'll be what, Darmana Cannon, probably.
Yeah, Darmana Cannon and Torrential Pump from Wellspring Mask, and like that's
True.
kind of it. I guess we'll have maybe like the Salamence that's coming in the next set, but like, or is Salamence in Journey Together, or Salamence in?
I don't even remember. What the heck?
I can't remember either. I think
Salamence is not.
I think it
is Journey Together.
Journey Together, yeah. So yeah, we'll have like you'll have like the Salamence that's in Journey Together out, and I think it's kind of the same thing there, where it's like that Salamence is really strong with like a huge like bench spread attack. So to give like to at least
Pokemon?
Have this,
your opponent's Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And so to like protect yourself from like a huge bench spread like that, but also have like more of a commitment to make that choice. Versus like you basically either say, okay, I'm either going to sacrifice board state or I'm going to sacrifice setup, you know? And I think that's okay. I think we should force players into that position, you know?
Certainly. I think it's very good. I think it's good to make your players manage their resources a little better than that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and move on. Tell me what you think of this Crustle, dude.
So we got a new Crustle coming out. Stage 1 evolves from Dwebble. The ability is Mysterious Stone House. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX. So it's got the same kind of what is it? Just Veil, I guess. I can't remember what Mimikyu's is called, but something Veil. It's the same kind of protection against EXs that Mimikyu has, that Aegislash has, and I kind of like that. And then it's got an attack for grass, colorless. Safeguard. Okay, so it's got the same kind of thing. Safeguard protects against damage from EXs, and then its attack, Great Sisters, grass, colorless, 120 damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Yes. So it is kind of really a stage 1 version of the Aegislash that exists in format right now. From Paradox. It's Paradox 2-4.
I would even just say like Cornerstone.
Yeah, it's kind of Cornerstone like that too. Yeah, absolutely. It's got that. It's a shred attack of sorts.
With a wall.
And it does sit on, it's a wall Pokemon with that. I think that's really cool. I think it's also really interesting that the Dwebble that they have for the set has the Ascension attack that we've seen on a few of these other really weak, low HP basics. So Ascension says, for a colorless, search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So turn 1, if you go second and you get if you have at least one Dwebble in, I mean, you're going to be able to evolve it for sure. Regardless, as long as you got the energy for it. And then you've got a 150 HP grass wall on your side of the board, and EXs aren't going to be doing anything to you. Dude, big fan.
I just thought of this also. If we get new regional forms for Legends ZA, what do you think? I wonder what happens if we get like a new Crustle and we get like a Crustle EX to evolve, like a what is Gen 6? What is that place called?
Blanking.
I totally forget.
Was it ZA has Lumina City? Oh, the region.
Lumina
I can't
City.
remember. Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Lumina
but we're getting
region. Kalos, a Colossian Crustle would go bananas.
Colossian Crustle EX.
Crustle EX.
That'd be cool. I'm really hoping that they do something like that. I always like when they kind of tune something for like a current set and then create something later on that they know can be used with something they've developed earlier on.
Where's my Pheasant EX?
Right, exactly. I'm still waiting on that, and I'm really hoping we get that soon because I need Unpheasant EX.
It's not gonna happen. It's cope.
It's not.
Unfortunately.
It's such cope. Oh my god, the pit of what is that? That's a G block, right?
Yeah.
It's an H block. Okay.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Pit of's got some time. Doesn't have a year left. Pit of's got 2. We could still see an Unpheasant EX.
You can see a broken Unpheasant EX.
I really want that to happen, but there's also like no good ways to get damage onto Pit of now that Gatejaw is leaving and Damage Pump is leaving. Rip.
So sad.
Oh man. Anyway, I guess we'll just go on to the next one.
Yeah, the next one is really like this Hydrapple. I don't think it's very good.
But it'd be good. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cute. There's a Hydrapple. It's a stage 2, 170 HP grass Pokemon. The only noteworthy attack is this Hydro Breath for a single grass, where you discard 6 basic grass energy from your hand, and you just knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If you can't discard 6 basic grass, the attack does nothing. Yeah. It's very cute. I don't think it'll see very much play. I don't know. It's cute.
So I bring to you Festival Lead. Festival Lead, and we run a couple letters of encouragement.
Letter of encouragement.
And we had something knocked out the previous turn. And we just play down those letters of encouragement, which we got out because we used our Boom Boom Groove keys to search out everything we needed with our Diplin in the active to engage those searches. We get everything we need to get 6 basic grass energy. Also, we run like Lana's Aid and Superior Energy Retrieval to make sure we're getting energy back. All right. I know, no. That's a huge
Holy, you are cooking so much right now.
Yeah, this thing is bad. I do genuinely
You can't
think,
see it, but right behind the crossbar of Johnny's headphones, there is a rat who is just marionetting him into building the. You are getting ratatouille'd right now.
Oh, 100%.
You're getting ratatouille'd into the worst deck ever seen by mankind.
Yeah, 100%. Genuinely.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do genuinely think this thing could be run as a one of in that deck, but
it could be a closer in Hydrapple EX.
That deck is good. It could also be in Hydrapple EX, but Hydrapple EX is also bad, just like Festival Lead.
Yes,
Festival Lead might be better actually, and it's still bad.
Yeah. I think let's go ahead and knock out all the Ogre Pond cards next, because they're all like the same thing, right? They're all just the different masks of the Ogre Pond, and they're like a little different. So like Teal, they all have like a baby attack that gets energy accelerated to them. They're all like 110 HP. And then they have a second attack with a different effect. The grass one is 120 and you can't attack next turn. The fire one is 80, but your opponent's active is burned. The water one is 100 and you heal 30. And the fighting one is do 100 damage and discard the top card of your opponent's deck. All bad cards.
Yep. They all also
GLC Ogre Ponds, I guess.
Yeah. I actually don't even think the Teal Mask one is optimal for GLC, considering the baby Teal Mask we have already is probably more optimal for whatever grass GLC decks out there.
Probably so.
Knowing nothing about GLC and knowing that one lets you like
GLC.
Search. Yeah. Oh shoot, maybe ask Sky about that.
True. That's a Sky question for sure.
100%. Moving right along, though, I guess, because that Teal Mask Ogre Pond kind of closed out the grass types, which there were a lot of good ones.
Surprising number of good ones.
But we're moving into the fire types, and I guess the first one is this Rapidash. It's not amazing, but it does have an ability, so I think that's worth at least kind of covering. We get a 110 HP Rapidash. Stage 1 evolves from Ponyta. Ability, Hurried Gate. Once during your turn, you may draw a card.
That's good. I like to draw cards.
It is card draw. And then its attack is bad. Doesn't matter. Fire
You're
colorless.
never attacking with this guy.
60 damage with Fire Main. Yeah, don't worry about it. This is a draw engine.
Engine is putting it generously.
This is a draw hand cranked 1-to-3 gear ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Unfortunately, I think this is maybe kind of a testament to like what we could see for draw in Pokemon going forward potentially.
Yeah, it feels like we're really slowing the game down right now.
It worries me a little bit. I'm hoping, but at the same time I get it, like maybe like slowing it down is the right move. I don't really know. The game designers know more than I do, at least about what their plans are for stuff, but it does feel like this is hey, we want things to get a little bit slower. We want, or in this case, a lot of bit slower. Because like you compare this to like Reveroom, which is like conditional but draws you until you have 6 in hand, or the Dunsparce, which is draw 3 and then put that dude right back into the deck to get played down again later in the game and take a million years to play out your turns. Draw 1, even like getting Trade Zoroark back and then immediately having this next set. It's a little weird.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, for sure. Probably not going to see use, but we'll see.
Maybe it will. It feels weird because, and that's kind of I only want to touch on this briefly, but that's a really interesting thing about the design philosophy of the game going forward, right? Is if they're slowing it down a lot, which granted, we'll have to, like, that has yet to be seen, right? We got to see how much things actually do slow down. But I wonder how that will affect their viewership numbers for the streams, right? Because you got to think when Pokemon just kind of came back after the big COVID boom, that's part of why the Sword and Shield block was so powerful. It was because it's exciting to watch, right? Like Mew VMAX, my beloved, for all of its flaws from a design perspective, that deck was awesome to watch, right?
Oh, 100%.
Just being able to like have the tension of like, oh my god, he's gonna Genesect again. Does he have it? Does he not? Will he be able to do, whatever? Like, what does he see off of this Rotom phone? Like, how is it gonna go? Having stuff like that, like it was edge of your seat, like action watching Mew VMAX play. And this is just like, oh, I draw 1 card, and if it's not there, I don't got it. So I just kind of cry. And I fear that like it will create a game that is maybe more healthy, but less fun to be a part of, right? And that's kind of the part that I definitely don't envy about the developers of this game, is that they have to find a way to keep people engaged at the highest level, as well as at the level where they're just observing. And that is a difficult balance to strike at the absolute least. And impossible at the absolute worst.
And it's a little bit I'll be honest, I really don't want to see the game slow down in that regard, with cards like that being like staples, because like you already see the Yu-Gi-Oh versus Pokemon jokes with drawing and everything like that, and this suddenly kind of feels like we're going towards a Yu-Gi-Oh style of play where it's like, oh, the best thing I have is draw 1. And
that just feels bad. So we'll have to see. The game's in a weird spot right now as far as development goes. We have to really wait this one out. And I don't want to harp too much about it just because there's still a lot of cards to go through. But it is worth noting that the game is like really, really slowing down in a way that almost seems worrisome. So we'll have to see kind of like what that will look like in the near future. But until then, let's talk about finally the very first really vision of the new archetypes that we get. We talked about these already, right? The Ethan's Typhlosion evolution line. I can kind of briefly go over the Typhlosion line. Typhlosion finally Typhlosion finally beat the allegations from the leaks. And now has a playable set of cards. I did learn there was some. Never mind. People basically just didn't. There was like more to that got like mistranslated, and like
Yeah,
there was like cultural differences.
there is. There is.
Don't quote me on that, but like I do remember there was specifically like, no, that wasn't actually what happened. Like let's calm down here. But anyway, point is, Ethan Cyndaquil, 70 HP, baby, 1 fire, 30 damage, blow up Badoo, all good, discard an energy, doesn't matter, whatever.
Yeah.
Quilava is kind of the engine of this deck, where it is a stage 1 with 100 HP that has the adventure bound ability, where once during your turn you can search for a copy of Ethan's adventure, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then Typhlosion for 1 fire has Buddy Blast, where it does 40 plus 60 for each Ethan's adventure card in your discard pile. Ethan's adventure lets you get just spoilers, I guess. Ethan's adventure lets you get 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic fire energy, reveal them and put them into your hand. So there's just baked in synergy. I go get my Pokemon with Ethan's adventure. I go get my energy with Ethan's adventure. I'm charged up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Like it just feels good. Like turn 2, if you're, or like turn 3, whatever, I don't know. If you Ethan's Quilava for an adventure, use it, go grab your energy, go grab your evolution Pokemon, get ready to go. You're chilling. You're ready to do a quick 100 damage for 1 energy. Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not good, but like for like very little investment, that's pretty interesting as an attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think like, I mean, you max out on this thing with, if you get 4 Ethan's adventures into the discard. This guy's maxing out at, what is that, 280?
Oh yeah, 280.
280 for one fire. I mean, like, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like anything over 100. I mean, 100 already for 1 fire is not like awful for any card in general.
Right.
But yeah, especially like going up, more and more from that, getting 2 in the discard and going 160, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think this could be a good, kind of a cool archetype to see.
Not to mention, and here's some tinfoil hat stuff. In a recent announcement, they were talking about how we will probably in the near future, with the new megas and stuff, we'll see some more type specific boosts for abilities and whatever, sometimes damage. True. Imagine we see a fire type damage boosting item that just boosts the damage of this Typhlosion, and and suddenly you're doing a 340 for 1 fire.
Yeah, that could be really huge.
It's just it's a thought I've had.
Yeah,
looking at this with fresh eyes.
I like that, and like it's been a minute since we like looked at this, knowing some of the other stuff that's kind of coming, and maybe some things to look forward to. Yeah, I could see this really kind of popping off as like a thing all on its own, without too much else beyond the Ethan's adventures, and just getting some draw support for it. I don't really think it slots in with the other Ethan's Pokemon, and maybe we can kind of go over those to showcase that. Because the next couple of Ethan's Pokemon, we have Ethan's Slugma and Ethan's Magcargo. Slugma's whatever, 80 HP, so it can't be Buddy Poffin. That's worth noting at least. But Ethan's Magcargo has the ability Melt and Flow. If this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost, and then for 3 fire energy, Lava Burst, 70 times damage, discard up to 5 fire energy from this Pokemon, and this attack does 70 damage for each card you discarded in this way. And those kind of that kind of combos in with Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, which has Golden Flame ability. Once during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic fire energy from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. So I think Golden Flame there, like the idea is like you get a couple of Ethan's Ho-Oh into play, you get your fire energy into your hand with Ethan's Adventure. I think that's their theory for it, at least, is getting the fire with that. But you absolutely will have other ways to do that. You get the fire energy moved onto Ethan's Magcargo, and it does Lava Burst, and you blow something up because you discard like 4 to 5, energy off of it, and do a maxed out 350 damage with that, which is crazy good for a stage 1 basic. And then if your opponent can't respond, you can kind of bump this guy onto the bench again and use Golden Flame to put more energy onto it,
right back into
and
it,
just go right back in with something else retreating. Yeah. I just don't think that necessarily. Yeah, I don't think it combos with the Typhlosion because of that. I think if you run Typhlosion, you're running Typhlosion with Ethan's Adventure, and I think if you're running Med Cargo, you're running Med Cargo with Ho-Oh EX. That's kind of my take.
You don't need both, I don't think.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like the idea, and you can make that in a couple decks. But that's pretty much it for the fire types. So I guess we'll move right along. And why don't we hit up these Misty's Pokemon in the water types?
Yeah, they're sad, man. It's a real disappointment. This Misty's Psyduck has a really convoluted ability. It's got the ability It is a 70 HP basic water Pokemon with the ability Slapstick Jump. For once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the bottom card of your deck, and if you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put it on top of your deck. First of all, that's a lot of words.
Yes.
For an effect that is not very good. Except for within the concept of like the Misty's deck. I think the Misty's deck is bad. Because what it's supposed to combo with is Misty's Gyarados, which I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. Is a 180 HP stage 1 with the Splashing Panic ability or attack. That for 1 water you discard the top 7 cards of your deck and do 70 damage for the amount of Misty's Pokemon you find there. So you could like Misty's Psyduck, you could Slapstick Jump to put Psyduck on top of your deck. You could Academy at Night to put another Pokemon on top of your deck. And you can just start discarding and blah 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 blah. I never want to discard my attackers. That just feels silly goofy. I don't like that at all. Even with Sacred Ash coming back, where you shuffle 5 Pokemon back into your deck, I just don't foresee this being good. I would rather personally just play Baby Iron Hands with the Destructo Press attack, because you can turn that online with generators, and you don't have to play stupid little Magikarp. And it's also able to be used in a deck that already has another like full suite of supporting Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for what it's worth, none of the other Misty's Pokemon are really attackers here, which is kind of also the sad part in and of itself. But we also have a Misty's Staryu and Starmie. They're both just not good. The Staryu is maybe noteworthy because it's 1 water, 20 damage, flip a coin, and if it's a heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. Which, I mean, paralysis good, but coin flipping for paralysis and like gambling on that, like, it's not good.
Not good.
And then Starmie with Sudden Flash, 60 plus damage if this Pokemon evolved from Staryu during this Misty Staryu during this turn. This attack does 80 more. So, not good.
Not good at all. Magikarp has the ability where it's protected from damage and effective attacks from your opponent's Pokemon while it's on the bench, which is fine.
It's got its own bench barrier. Bidoo's back, or not Bidoo, Bidoof. All over again.
There's even like a Misty's Lapras in here too, though. It's got Swim Together, where you search your deck for up to 3 Misty's Pokemon, reveal them and put them in your hand. Like, that's just not good.
Yeah. It's clear that like the whole point of this deck is supposed to be getting the Misty's Pokemon onto the top of your deck so that you can use Splashing Panic and discard 7 cards from your deck, and then hope that you can hit enough Misty's Pokemon with that, or set up enough Misty's Pokemon with that to then,
by the way,
go, I guess,
milling 7 cards off the top of your own deck feels miserable. Why would I ever do that?
I think even what is it, the Iron Hands with Destructo
And then it's 8 technically because you have to slapstick jump the Psyduck onto your deck. So you're discarding an extra card too.
Yeah.
Gross. This archetype is bad. Get it out of the
100%.
game. This is a meme deck. No good. No good at all. That'll be like a potential like pre-release deck, I guess.
Yeah, that is 100% a pre-release archetype right there.
And then it's even worse because you're milling in a 40-card deck. No.
Yep. Terrible. Don't if you get that on pre-release, if that is a pre-release archetype and you get it on pre-release in May, whenever the set's coming out,
just chuck the entire pre-con.
Ditch it and use the other half of the pre-con and stuff from your packs in a hope that you can make it work.
Truly.
Yeah, honestly, even like the Iron Thorns that you mentioned with Destructive Press and Iron Hands, it's revealing the top 5 of your deck. So you're not actually...
and you discard only the future cards.
It discards only future cards, and then you shuffle non-future cards back into the deck. That's 100% better. Like, why would I ever... It at least keeps, like, valuable stuff that aren't future cards, and future cards, like, you just run only future Pokemon.
Thorns, it's not Iron Hands. I'm tripping.
Yeah. No, I thought it was Hands too, and then I like looked it up, and I was like, "Oh no, this isn't Hands. This is Thorns."
My bad.
It's a yellow card.
He's yellow.
Oh man, yeah, Misty just feels like a very scuffed archetype. It does not seem fun. It seems like it's too much work to make a Pokemon do. I mean, the capped out damage is 490, which is cool. But
sure, I guess.
Like you have to make an unoptimal deck with 4 Psyduck, 4 Staryu, 4 Starmie, 4 Magikarp, 4 Gyarados, and 4 Lapras. I mean, oh god, we're looking at 24 Pokemon right there. Like,
I'm good.
Yeah, before you do anything else, don't do it. Yeah. Moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
We get to
my goodness.
Kind of cool ones, I think.
I'd say so.
Yeah. We get a Cynthia's Feebas and a Cynthia's Milotic. The Feebas is whatever. It's bad, but in a pinch, you use this attack. It's a 30 HP water Pokemon with a colorless attack Undulate. It does 10 damage. You flip a coin, and if it's heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from an attacks. Oh my god. And effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. Whew. It's definitely a thing. You don't want to rely on that. Yep.
It's fine.
The Milotic, though.
The Milotic's cool.
Aqua Split for a water and a colorless. By the way, Cynthia's Milotic is 130 HP. Water colorless Aqua Split does 60 damage, and then this attack also does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So it's got a weak bench snipe, which is kind of cool. I think the reason why I like this so much is like we're getting the Roserade. We can power this up with Roserades, get a couple of those, punch for 120 with a single prizer, and start bench sniping around. The only downside I see with that is like unlike Hop, Dusks are harder to slot into this. So
yeah,
unfortunate. I think it's cool, but I don't know how to really make that work. I think that ultimately you're not going to really use the Cynthia Pokemon too much.
Yeah, you might, but you never know. It'll probably be like a 1/1 that you use in the Cynthia deck. The Cynthia deck looks very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Next couple cards aren't really noteworthy. I'm always excited when there's a new Weasel in the format, just because I love that little guy. Yeah. I love Weasel as a Pokemon.
Give me a cool Water Otter.
This Dondozo EX is kind of lit, actually, as well. It's not very good, but there's a Dondozo EX, basic 260 HP water type EX Pokemon with a water colorless attack called Tsunami Reversal. 30 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So this guy can go in, soak up a hit, and then just do a bunch of damage back, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then Dynamic Wave for water, colorless, where you do Dynamic Dive, 120 damage, and if you do you can do 120 more damage, and if you do, this Pokemon does 50 to itself. So the gameplay loop they're kind of expecting you to do is use dynamic dive, do
Mhm.
240, and then take 50 damage, and then swing back with tsunami reversal the next turn to do even more damage. Which is it's cool that there's baked in
Yes.
synergy in just the design language. Now, granted, I don't think you want to necessarily play this, and 4 energy
No.
is way too high a price, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. So there is that. But that's really all the water Pokemon that we've got.
I
Next, is there anything you want to talk about before we move on to Lightning?
The one thing I did want to point out with that Dondozo, and I don't know if this is like intentional or not, but that 50 damage that it has to put on itself does put it in a position where, um, if you play this against, say like, so it does put it to a 210, so it does keep it out of something like a Dragapult range,
Yeah.
at least a base Dragapult range, but it does put it into a position where something like Raging Bolt needs 1 less energy to KO this thing.
Yep.
I think that's. I feel like this was a very specific and very conscious choice to do 50 exactly. And maybe that's just me overthinking it. I don't know. I could be. Yeah, this guy kind of stinks.
Yeah. Stinky.
Unfortunate.
Next, we get to talk about actually, we were just talking about this guy, Electivire EX.
Mhm.
Is a 280 HP Lightning type EX Pokemon with 2 attacks. It's got Dual Bolt for a Lightning and a colorless that says this does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. You can choose the active or the bench. This feels pretty good. You can electric generator to this guy. So for 1 E-Gen, you can just basically like do Baby Greninja. You can Salvatore into this guy.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. You're cooking.
I'm cooking a little bit. It's interesting, like
All right.
it's cool. It's nice to have in the format. And then for lightning, and a colorless. So 3 energy, 2 lightning, 1 colorless. High voltage press does 180, and if this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached to it, it does 180 or 100 more damage. Right? 5 energy to do 280 feels atrocious.
Yeah.
However,
a little bit.
There's a lot of ways to accelerate lightning type energy in the format right now. You've got Joltik, you've got Magneton, you've got Electric Generator. I guess this is playable. I can't think. I don't think it's very good, but I think it's cute, right? It's cool, and I love Electivire. So it's we're getting a lot of Gen 4 love in this set, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's cool to bring those back. I was actually looking up just now to see if there were like any other maybe better Electabuzzes. But I don't think there are. I think the Electabuzz that's in this set probably is the best one to play with this if you're going to play with it. For a lightning and a colorless Electric Slug, you do 50 damage, which is pretty good for a basic Pokemon. But like the only other Electabuzz that I think I would even consider playing is there's a Electabuzz from Stellar Crown. That's what it was.
The Collect one, yeah.
It has Collect. So Collect is lightning, draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the others are just kind of whatever. I even like the Electro Combo one from 151 that does 40 more damage. It's if you have
Magmar's
a Magmar
on the bench.
Yeah, you're not having Magmar in this unless they, I don't know, secret sauce us with like a Magmortar deck at some point.
Surely not.
It's not happening, unfortunately.
Speaking of attacks that draw cards, though, there's also an Ethan's Pichu it's another baby Pokemon, right? So it's got the 30 HP, free retreat, and a free attack. This does 30 damage and you draw a card. This is not a good card. I saw somebody hyping it up and people were like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. You can finally deal with Badoo. It's like, yeah, you can do that already.
Yeah.
Elekid is in the game. You shouldn't play him, but Elekid's in the game. Just do that. Just do that if you're really that set on it. Also, it's 30 damage anywhere. Grow up.
Yep. But 30 damage draw a card is kind of cool.
Yeah. But still, like just...
It's Collect with 30 damage for free. That is kind of cool. but no, like seriously, yeah. Most decks already have something to deal with Badoo pretty early on anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't, or they're playing Badoo themselves.
Yeah. There's nothing
But-
else really good in here in any of the lightning types, I don't think. Yeah, none of the other ones are really good, sadly.
The Rotom, actually, that Rotom might be kind of... Actually, there's two. There are a couple. The Rotom might be cool. We get a new 60 HP Rotom with a couple of attacks. For 1 lightning, astonish 20 damage, choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shuffles it into their deck. Not a great attack. That one's not what I'm interested in. But the other one, Gadget Show, for 2 colorless, 30 times. This attack does 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all of your Pokemon. That's kind of cool. Just because we're kind of going... Yeah. It does feel like we're going more and more towards like tools being more necessary or stronger. I mean, for a basic like 60 HP Pokemon, if we get like a double colorless of some sort back again, and you've got a tool across like 4 Pokemon on your bench, or like just 4 Pokemon in general, including this guy, I mean, 120, it's kind of not bad for like double colorless on a 60 HP basic. Like, yeah. I don't know. I could see it maybe. But the one that I actually like more, and I'm thinking this might be how Miraidon survives rotation, or at least comes back potentially, is a Zero. I'm so terrible with this card, with this Pokemon's name. Zeraora? Yeah. Is that how you say that?
Yeah. Zeraora. Well, hold on. Before we move on to Zeraora, yes. It's worth mentioning that for that Rotom... Now, granted, I'm definitely more of like... I'm more sold on the Crushing Pulse Rotom. Yeah. It's an 80 HP where your opponent reveals their hand and you discard all items and tools you see there.
Yeah. I mean, that's 100% better.
It's worth mentioning that if you're doing the tool drop route, there is an unreleased Japanese gym trainer promo called Technical Machine, where you can just go tutor out 3 TMs.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
So there is a very real possibility that we're getting another like Rotom tool drop deck. Once TM Machine comes out.
Is this how Reveroom finally gets good? Is this finally Reveroom's time to shine? Reveroom EX.
Reveroom Rotom?
Yo.
That would be so sick. Just like thematically, I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Stack like a bunch of TMs onto your Reverooms in play, and then Rotom does 30 for each of those, which each Reveroom can hold 4 items. So 240. That ain't bad.
No, it's not.
240 on a 60 HP basic. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the idea of like maybe they are planning ahead for something like that, and or they're looking back at like something that is like not seeing play, and they're like, okay, what if we gave this thing a fighting chance now somehow? Because we saw that with Regidrago. Regidrago went from being kind of like just meh, just not very amazing throughout its career, to suddenly the best deck at Worlds and like 3 formats afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know. Big fan of stuff like that.
Yeah. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind, just back here. But yeah, the Zeraora. Okay. Zeraora. I think this is how Miraidon stays alive. It's got an attack for 3 lightning, Thunder Blitz. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 210 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX.
210 snipe on an EX is crazy.
It has to be an EX. Yes, it does have to be a benched EX, but that is huge. That is KOing Fez, that's KOing Ogerpons.
It is not KOing Ogerpons. Bench barrier, baby.
Oh,
it's a Terra type.
Okay, we need the basic mythical, the mythical Pokemon that turns off Terra bench barrier. We need that to happen.
Print it
Yeah.
so fast.
But it is KOing Fez. It's KOing Mew. It's KOing Squawks on the bench. Like, yeah, Miraidon doesn't need to have like another thing to do that when it can just
I
gust.
like
but
it.
I like this. Yeah.
Well, I like that because then you don't have to rely on gust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the way I see it, like you're getting a single prize attacker that removes the need to gust from Miraidon, and you just get to play aggressively and blow up guys, right? And then you have like your Magneton to accelerate the energy once Zero Aura gets knocked out the next turn, and then you get to do it again with just like a Night Stretcher for Zero Aura, Magneton for the energy, snipe another liability on your opponent's bench, and suddenly you're up 4 prizes and your opponent's only down 2 or only up 2.
Yeah.
Like that that is just a way I see this card seeing play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, I think this is kind of a way that Miraidon can try to stay alive. I mean, it's still going to be questionable whether that actually works out or not, whether Miraidon can really survive rotation. We'll have to see how things go. But this is definitely kind of another thing for the deck. Because at the end of the day, Miraidon's always been kind of just this electric toolbox that likes to take in whatever basic Pokemon it can take in. And just run with that, you know? We saw Iron Hands come in and suddenly it starts running more Iron Hands and less Raikos and Raichus. And no Regielekis afterwards, you know? Or at least, especially no Regielekis after Flaffy leaves and stuff like that. You know, we see it start taking, it just kind of takes in what it can as an attacker. So I like the idea of this. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it does seem cool. I actually hadn't even read that Zero Aura until just now. But yeah, let's move on. We're kind of getting towards the end of this list and the end of the episode as well. So let's wrap up these last 3 types. No dragons, and then we'll go over the trainers in this set. We've got, moving quickly on to fighting types. There's a Mudsdale.
Yep.
Oh wait, hold on. I skipped a bunch. Ethan Sudowoodo is a 110 HP basic fighting type Pokemon. It's a bad card. It's got, for 1 fighting, you can impound, do 20 damage, and your opponent's Pokemon can't retreat during your next turn. And then attempt mimicry, where you flip a coin, and if heads, you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon and use it as this attack. It is a worse version of Mew EX. I would rather just play Mew EX. This is bad.
I do like the name there, though. Attempting. Because you do flip a coin for it. It's kind of fun.
It's cute, yeah.
Oh, man. But tell us about the one that I think everyone is going to be very hyped on. So
there's 2. Cynthia is the archetype that people have their eyes set on from this set, and there's 2 pretty important ones. There's a Cynthia's Garchomp EX, which is a stage 2 fighting type, 330 HP, 2 attacks on it, corkscrew dive for 100 damage. You may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. And then 2 fighting, Dragon Blaster, 260, discard all energy from this Pokemon. It's got a really cool, just big damage attack, and then having baked in draw feels really good. And then Cynthia's Gabite is what it evolves from. It is a stage 1, 100 HP fighting type Pokemon with the ability Champion's Call, where once during your turn you may search your deck for a Cynthia's Pokemon, reveal it, and then put it into your hand. Now, this Gabite is a direct callback to the Dragon Called Gabite from Dragons Exalted back in the Black and White days. Was it Black and White? Yes, Black and White days, where it had the Dragon Call ability, the optimal Dragon type GLC Gabite, where once during your turn you can go grab a Dragon type Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand, and then shuffle. This is exactly a spiritual successor to that. It just designed for the Cynthia deck. It's really cool to just be able to go get your Cynthia's Pokemon and then have a gigantic dragon just to blow up all of your opponent's Pokemon for really low energy costs as well. Not to mention, like we talked about last week, we're getting that fighting type item card where you're doing 40 more damage for each of those that you play during your turn. So if you just really need somebody dead, Let's say like you need like a Hero's Cape Charizard dead. You play 4 of that fighting type potion card for an extra 160 damage, and then you use Dragon Blaster for 2 fighting energy, and do what is that?
A 3. That's
400, 500 damage.
480. Yeah, nearly 500. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, because it's a Cynthia's Pokemon, it does get the benefit of having that Roserade power it up.
That's true.
Plus 30 on this guy. With just 1 Roserade, you're punching for 290 with
That's really
Dragon
good.
Blaster. That's insanely good.
Yeah, and then throw on something like a Defiance Band, or use the Fighting Potion, and like you're just doing so much damage every turn.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think
Cynthia's is going to be really, really cool.
For Cynthia.
People love Cynthia. People love Garchomp. People love Cynthia's Garchomp. I'm excited to see what this is going to do. It is weak to grass, so with a lot of powerful grass Pokemon in the game right now, we might see some stuff keeping it in check. But it'll still be pretty cool to have that in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving right along, though, to the next fighting Pokemon, and the last one's really for this set. We have Arven's Toedscool and Arven's Toedscool.
Oh, we're skipping over the Mudsdale.
Oh, wait, no, the Mudsdale.
It's not good. It's just got an ability where it takes 30 less damage from attacks. It's a bad card.
That's
I just saw that it had an ability. And
that's your pre-release.
It might be. It could be either. That's like a decent enough GLC card, though. Is there a good Mudsdale? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I have no idea.
This might become optimal Mudsdale for GLC if GLC needs a Mudsdale.
Maybe. Oh no. Well, maybe. Could be 130. That's not very much. That's not a lot of damage, in fact.
Yeah.
I feel like you play the Guardians Rising Mudsdale if you're gonna play a Mudsdale. Yeah.
What does that one do?
It does Enhanced Stomp is 3 energy, 60 damage, but if it has a tool, it does 120. And then there's also for 4 energy, 3 fighting and a colorless, so you do 180 and 40 to yourself. So
yeah.
I'd much rather just use that guy. Sorry, Mudsdale.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Not optimal. Also, there's a stamp promo for the Guardians Rising Mudsdale. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Glam Max Rarity. It's way cooler that way. But tell me about Arven's Pokemon. I love Arven. He's sad. He's got daddy and mommy issues. Tell me what's going on with Arven and his Pokemon.
Unfortunately, Arven's Pokemon are also sad. And
no way.
This might be another dud here, unfortunately. Poor Arven. Arven's Toedscool has Slight Intrusion, a colorless, does 30 damage, and it does 10 to itself. And then
why would you
for its
that?
stage 1? Yeah, terrible. It's a 70 HP Toedscool, so it's the highest HP Toedscool that exists at this point now, like once this comes into play. But you can't even use it with like the other like Toedschools, like Slime Mold Colony and stuff like that, because it is Arven's and not a standard Pokemon, which is unfortunate.
That's it. This is cooked. Terrible deck.
Horrendous. Arven's Toedscool, 140 HP for 1 colorless. Pull, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, so you get Boss on an attack. And then for 3 colorless, you have Reckless Charge, 120 damage. This attack also does 30 damage to itself.
That card sucks. It's not good.
Very bad. Yeah, not a fan. Don't like it. Yeah. Arven in general is just kind of shaping up to be a bit of a sad mess with some of the other stuff that it has, unfortunately.
Well, I'm interested in the Arven's Mabosstiff.
Fair enough.
And I'll tell you why. So Arven's Mabosstiff is, which we skipped over Cynthia's Spiritomb, but we'll circle back to that.
We'll come back. Yeah.
Arven's Mabosstiff EX is a 270 HP Darkness type Pokemon that has 2 attacks. The first one being Hustle Tackle for 1 colorless, it does 30. And if it has no damage counted on it, it does another 120, so 150 for 1. And then Boss's Headbutt for 3 colorless, where it does 210, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Boss Headbutt. And here's why I think that card is like maybe, depending on how the speed of the game looks, it could be maybe kind of okay, right? We've got the
Yes.
item card Arven's Sandwich, where you heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon, and if it's an Arven's Pokemon, heal 100 from it.
Yes.
This is not ideal, right? Like, but I see what they're going for. They're going for like this tank and heal strategy with the Arven's Mabostive, where you do more damage because you have no damage counters on you, and then you get you just get more just more benefit from the sandwich. You get to heal every turn. Then you can run that with something like Rigid Band or even Leftovers, where you can take 30 less damage or heal damage. Just make sure that you're always staying at full HP, and then you don't really have to worry about healing up too terribly much. It gives you a little more bulk.
For sure. And it definitely feels like that combos in with like the Toad Scroll, where the Toad Scroll self-damaging itself, so you're healing it with sandwich. Toad Scroll's bad.
You are never using a sandwich on your Toad Scroll. Keep mushrooms off of my sandwich.
You do also get the Arven's. I guess we're kind of jumping around at types at this point, but I think it's worth mentioning at least the last couple of Arven's Pokemon, since they fill into this combo. But you have Arven's Skwovet and Greedent, and the Arven's Greedent has the Greedy Order ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put up to 2 Arven's Sandwich from your discard pile into your hand. So
that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Like getting heals back is very cool. Also,
I remember Lucky Ice Pop being a menace.
It's kind of worth noting, right? Like, we have a spec in format that heals 120, and if it hits the discard at any point, it can't be brought back into your hand. So if it gets discarded in some way without getting played, it's done. And then Arven just gets 20 less on an item that's a 4 of that can be gotten back through Pokemon abilities and stuff like that. I think that I'm not saying that to say like the Arven archetype is good. I'm saying that to say like Pokevital A should never have been printed.
Terrible card.
It should never have been printed. But it is interesting to point stuff out like that, I think. Yeah. I think I could see like a world where like if you have like a cool kind of like tank strategy with the Arven's Mabostive, where you can kind of like get this guy in, keep hitting for not huge amounts of damage, but solid amounts of damage, and keep healing off of it, that might be a fun way to play.
Yeah. If nothing else, it'd be fun, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's go back to the Cynthia Spiritomb. How do you?
Yeah, that's really the last Pokemon I really want to
of
talk about before we move on to the trainers. Cynthia Spiritomb has 70 HP. It is a basic Darkness type Pokemon that for one colorless can do Raging Cursed attack, 10 damage for each damage counter on all of your benched Cynthia's Pokemon, and this attack's damage is not affected by weakness. I could see this being more potent if there was more ways to damage your Pokemon in the format, but we don't have anything like a Gapejaw Bog to pre-damage your Pokemon. But I see the vision. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. If we ever do get something that lets you accelerate damage like that, this Spiritomb could be very good. But
now,
it's more something to keep an eye on for right now.
I want to turn your attention to a trainer card, because trainers are next. This skips down kind of the list of stuff they've revealed a little bit, but it is the Cynthia-specific trainer card that they've revealed. Cynthia has Cynthia's Power Weight. The Cynthia's Pokemon this card is attached to gets 70 plus HP.
Yes.
Attach that Power Weight to Cynthia's Garchomp, and it's at 400 HP.
Gross.
That guy is not getting KO'd easily, even with that grass weakness. Even with that grass weakness, Teal Mask Ogerpon isn't KOing Cynthia's Garchomp if both of them are loaded with the the energy needed for their attacks.
Really?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm tripping.
Because it's 2 damage. What does Teal Mask say?
3. It's Teal Mask is doing 120 if it has 3 grass energy on it.
So
120.
120 plus 60, so 180. That's 360.
360.
You're surviving 360.
You're surviving a Teal Mask. And also, Teal Mask is probably never actually attacking into a Garchomp that has any energy on it, since you're probably Dragon Blastering and discarding that energy.
True!
So Teal Mask may never even actually take KOs on Garchomp without the energy.
That's crazy, actually.
But the reason I point that out is just because
use the Yanmega. That's what it is.
There you go. Ooh. I point that out though just because with that Garchomp, right? With Raging Curse, I mean,
then you just pivot into Ticking Curse or Raging Curse.
Yeah. And suddenly you blow something up for like 300 for a colorless.
Yeah, I see the vision.
On a basic.
For one colorless, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That you can poffin out.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I kind of see like the idea, like that's kind of my idea of like the Cynthia archetype, is you just run like a few of those guys in with the Garchomp, and you're just looking, or even not a few, but like maybe 1 or 2, and you're just hunting down ways late game to blow something up in the active.
Yes.
Because your Garchomp has a bunch of damage on it.
Yeah. I see the vision in absolutely. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Outside of that, the other stuff we're getting, we've got Sacred Ash coming in.
Yeah, it's a reprint from Flashfire.
It is.
Where you just shuffle 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck.
Let me look this up, because I think it is a reprint, but I think it's technically an errata too.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is. So Flashfire Sacred Ash said shuffle 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck.
Oh, this says up to 5.
This is up to 5. So with the errata, you will be able to use your old Flashfire Sacred Ash as the card in your deck if you want, and you like old yellow borders.
That's so funny.
I'm not the biggest fan of the XY era card looks, I'll be honest, but
I like some of them.
Plenty of people are, so not going to knock it, but you can use those at least, which is cool. Always like to see
cards skyrocketed up to 41 cents, by the way.
It's going to go up because this card comes back.
True.
Yeah, people love using their old cards.
They do.
But yeah, shuffling up to 5 Pokemon from your discard into your deck. I think that's cool. I like seeing stuff like that.
I dig it.
And I like the errata to it too. I definitely like that, because it doesn't overcomplicate it, and it doesn't mean that you are limited in the play of the card. You can play it when you don't have 5 Pokemon.
Yes.
If you didn't have 5 Pokemon, I don't think because of the wording on that, you would have to have 5 Pokemon in your discard to play Sacred Ash. And then on top of needing to have 5 Pokemon, you also couldn't do less than 5 Pokemon, which you may not want 5, you may only want 3. So
right.
Yeah, always fun.
Another noteworthy thing, we already talked about Arvin Sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually not getting a reprint, but they will be included in the set. Switch and Pokemon Catcher. These are both still Regulation G cards, but they are being printed in this set. So there's that. We already talked about Cynthia's Power Weight. Let's talk about MC's Hype Up. This card sucks.
This is a terrible card. Draw 2 cards. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prizes remaining, draw 2 more cards.
I think it was Chip and Azul on Uncommon Energy who said it best. They were like, this is just another one of those unfortunate cards where they were like, draw 4 would be too powerful. Let's give it a terrible condition.
Yep. They said Nimona, no. +1, no, that's too good. Yeah.
Let's make this card
needing
bad.
Prize card. Yeah, needing a prize card condition to draw 2 more cards off of a draw 2 is terrible. We're never playing this.
Never, ever.
Ever.
And speaking of reprints that are not actually reprints, the last card in the set that we haven't talked about. What is it, Johnny?
We get Judge.
Because everybody's playing Judge right now.
To be fair, I do like this version of the Judge with the art. For those
like
following along at home, he's got the pitties. He's got the pit vipers. The big rainbow
wraparound sunglasses.
Wraparound sunglasses.
Straight
This
trucker sunglasses.
Yeah, this guy is 100% like chugging down White Monster before he shows up to the games that he's supposed to be officiating.
Absolutely.
And every call is screamed out full force from this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is you know what? I don't hate it. I honestly really like the coloration and
it's super vibrant.
It's so cool. It's hitting all of like
drip.
It's
the 5-inch inseams pink shorts, dude, with the neon green belt.
Yeah, he's hitting the what is it? The like the 80s 90s like colors, like
yes,
hitting that hype. Oh,
that is a poison type gym leader, Judge. This is Marnie's
for sure.
This is Marnie's uncle, actually.
Canon.
True.
Yeah.
Sad that we're not getting a Judge reprint for legality reasons, but whatever.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it's still G Block, which
is bad.
It's a little concerning. I think maybe seeing some of these cards hit G Block and not get an H or an I Block reprint.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see. You know, maybe some of them will get an I Block eventually, or maybe Pokemon is saying we are going to do some other stuff.
Maybe.
It kind of goes back to what we talked about with Rapidash. It's a little concerning.
Is a little concerning.
Yeah. I don't want to keep us too long here because I think we're coming up to the end. But
yeah.
What do you think about some of these secret rares that they've shown? There's a few of these available, and I think I encourage the people who are following along to pull up the Poke Beach website and take a look at these yourself, because I think some of them are really cool. In fact, I think all of them are really cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So the Crustle is sweet. I love the Crustle. I love that art style.
Yeah.
Who is it? That's Takumi Wada. Yeah. Very cool art. What else did Takumi do? I'm trying to remember.
We're gonna be hitting up some of these artists again.
Oh, that's Journey Together. My bad.
Takumi Wada did Fluttermane promo.
Okay. Yes.
Did the Regice that appeared in the starter deck Generations, and I think it might also be coming in Journey Together as well.
Okay.
Something to keep an eye out for, at least art-wise. That's cool. Battle Partners, Articuno. Actually, that's really interesting. They haven't done since. I mean, they've done Fluttermane, but since Fluttermane, no, they've done some other stuff. Never mind, I'm tripping.
It looks like
did
did they do the Perrin? Oh no, the Skarmory.
The Surging Spark Skarmory full art.
That's such a gorgeous card.
That is truly one of the coolest looking.
That's one of the best art cards
ever.
in the Pokemon TCG, and it's not even close.
Yep. They did.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that art style. I like that angle. Obviously, you've got the waifu tax card, where this Cynthia's Rose Raid is going to be $1 bajillion.
Yeah.
Because it's got Cynthia all just right there. It's a nice card.
Rika.
Yeah, what else did Rika do other than be a bisexual icon?
Let's see. The Wellspring Masks that's coming in this set, the Inns Reshiram from Battle Partners.
That tracks.
The Magearna from Battle Partners, Iron Bundle from Surging Sparks. Just kind of a lot of stuff. Ooh, the Raboot full art. In Stellar Crown,
have that card.
Which you can see that when you really look at when you're like looking at like the art styles, like
you can tell
everything. Also, the Paldean Fates Frigibax.
Yes,
which is really cool. Yeah, and the Mela Paradox Rift full art too.
Very, very
And
nice.
the Mantite Paradox Rift full art. Oh my god, so many cool ones. Yeah, it's just kind of like
what the
it shows to
stack?
like this style of like kind of like a color pencil, you know,
It's very
real
colored pencil.
airy.
It's very
Yeah.
ethereal. It's almost kind of watercolory in some parts
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
I dig it a lot. Actually, no, this is very watercolor. It's like, I don't know. Do I need to have my artist wife weigh in on this? No, we'll leave her over there. It's very cool though. It's very stylized. It's very pretty.
Yeah. And the Cynthia, yeah, like you said, very waifu tax,
Cynthia
very Sailor Moon classic
yes.
90s anime look on Cynthia in this
Yes.
card. So that's kind of cool. I like it.
I'm into it.
I'm actually a fan of that.
The terrible Rapidash card gets a sick art, of course.
Oh my god, that art is gorgeous.
I love the little Rotom art. This is
that Rand or Rond? Rand.
I don't know. All these secret rares kind of rock. The Arven one is cute. The Arven's Arven's Greedent, very cute. Arven's on the card. They're eating a sandwich together.
Oh, okay. The same artist for Rapidash did the Surging Sparks Ceruledge card.
Okay.
The full art there.
Nice.
It's not Ceruledge EX, it's the one with that cursed edge, discard all special energies attack.
Okay.
But still cool. Still some cool stuff. They did the Twilight Masquerade Lampant and the Temporal Forces Deerling as well. Yeah, just some cool looking cards. Really like the art. It's very soft.
Yes.
Just super cool.
I love the style on this Baby Rotom. Taiga Kayama did the Rotom from here, obviously. Then the Sentret from Battle Partners, the Trapinch from Surging Sparks, the Helioptile from Twilight Masquerade.
Yes.
And I think somebody pointed out that a lot of these cards are like connected a little bit. I don't know if that's true or not. Could be wrong. The Meltan from Temporal Forces, the Clive full art from Paldean Fates, the Porygon from Paradox Rift, the Vanillish from Paradox Rift, and then the Lucky Bonus Chansey from 151, and the Obsidian Flames Squovit. I love this art style. It's very miniclip.com flash game.
Yes.
That's a deep cut. Anybody from like 2004 onwards does not know what I'm talking about.
No.
No. They're like miniclip.com. That's the people who do like 8-ball on your phone, right? It's like, well, yes, but we used to be a proper country, so.
Yeah, I love this. I love this art style. It's just cute, man. It is. Yeah. It's cartoony. Everything's like just kind of extra small looking. Man, yeah, super
what reminds
fun
me
for
of
that one.
Specifically is literally if you look up miniclip feed me, it gives me that exact type of vibe.
Ooh, yes, I totally get that. I can totally see that.
Oh, what a classic game.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm getting nostalgia baited right now.
The Arven Squovit's very cool. What else did Natsumi Yoshida do?
I know that name. Yoshida.
I think we have seen him. Oh my god, yes. Mew EX promo.
Oh, duh. Easy.
Mew EX promo. The Obsidian Flames Togepi that gets used with the optimal Togepi.
Oh,
it's
true.
the whiny voice one. Choose a random card for your opponent's hand, and your opponent reveals it and shuffles it. That is the optimal one, I guess. They also did the Stellar Crown promo Ledian card. Not the standard Ledian from the set, but the pre-release. Yeah, the stamp promo. That cute little
Stellar Crown or Surging Sparks?
That's the Stellar Crown pre-release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if that's a Surging Sparks one, I have like a million Surging Sparks staff promo packs, and by that I mean 3 of them, which is still too many. So
The Toxel promo as well from Scarlet Violet.
okay, cool.
Yeah, that one's cute. I like that one. Yeah, just some really cool ones there. And then
the two big ones, we've got the Ethan's Ho-Oh EX by, hold on, let me make sure I get this right, Atsushi Furusawa. Very, very pretty looking Ho-Oh with Ethan right there on the card. I like how you can even already see, like, they've rendered the texture of this card. It's so sick looking. That majestic, like, looking up, like, oh my god, that's Ho-Oh right in front of me. Yeah. Holy smokes.
Woo.
He's just
Atsushi
there.
Furusawa's lineup too is like an insane lineup of cards. Yeah, Dragonite V, full art from Evolving Skies, Zeraora V, full art from Chilling Rain, Muddy Catch Gallad.
Wait, what?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Hold on. Atsushi Furusawa.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see the Pikachu from Scarlet Violet. I see the World's Pikachu. Oh wait, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The Cassiopeia arts, Lana's Age, Shaman, Reuniclus. That Reuniclus is gorgeous, by the way.
The Arceus V full art, the Vaporeon VMAX full art.
Dude, also the Suicune V full art. The what'd you say? What was that full art? The Vaporeon VMAX Pro full art?
Yes, yeah, the Vaporeon VMAX full art.
It's so easy to just be like, oh, Vaporeon, the copy pasta. It's a very low-hanging fruit to joke about.
Yeah.
That is such a gorgeous full art, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
I adore that card. It's so pretty.
The design that went into that is so cool because it's featuring Vaporeon and all these other Pokemon with the Milotics and the Jellicents and
the Mantine,
the
Wishy-Washy.
The Wishy-Washies, yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
It's so pretty. And the eyes on it are so cool. The pink. I like the selection of not to like really like nerd out about the art of it, but like the selection of like the pink highlights in these Pokemon, like the Jellicent, or is that Jellicent or is that something else?
I think those are Jellicent, or
are those called Jellicent?
Maybe they're the pre-evolution if Jellicent is like the evolution. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, no, Jellicent evolves from Frillish. The two Frillish, how there's like a pink one. The Milotic, how it has pink highlights, and how that is just like right there to complement that red pink glow you get from being like that Dynamax type Pokemon. Dude.
Yeah.
So beautiful, this art. I wish that, and it's a promo, dude. How much does this thing cost now?
This art, Atsushi Furusawa's gallery in general is so cool too. Looking at like a lot of like full arts from them, a lot of like normal arts, but a lot of full arts. They've done they did both Cassiopeia trainer, the trainer, the Cassiopeia art, and then the Cassiopeia trainer art from Shroud of Fable. They did the Lana's Aid trainer art and Lana's Aid card from Twilight Masquerade. They did that really, really gorgeous Reuniclus full art from Temporal Forces, where it's the Reuniclus and the Duosions and the Solosis like all floating in water. I love that art. That's so cool. They did Professor like Totoro scenario illustration rare.
Yeah.
Just so many cool arts. So yeah, it's really cool to see like an artist like that take on, you know, Ho-Oh and the trainer series,
and just to do so well with it too.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, we get this really, really cool Cynthia's Garchomp with Hiko Kim doing the art. But the Cynthia's Garchomp, I love the art on it just because you get Cynthia in the background like full bodied, and then Cynthia on the Jumbotron behind her.
I love how she's on the Jumbotron.
And you get her face, so you get like
so sick.
Multiple levels of it.
This is Hiko Kim's only art! What?
Really?
Hiko Kim's debut is this banger?
Yo, okay.
That's wild.
Alright, Pokemon, please.
If y'all don't rehire Hiko Kim, you are tweaking out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this card bangs.
My God, their art on their Twitter is just like phenomenal too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've
Wait.
got some posts on their Twitter with like art that they've done. They've got
I think I see her
like
on.
a Digimon art here. This is
This might
so
be her
sick.
Instagram as well. What the heck? Yeah, I think she also might. I don't know what. Maybe not. No, definitely not. I was trying to find her. Oh well. Yeah, crazy good artist.
Yeah,
Crazy good
fantastic.
artist.
Excited to see more in future sets.
Please.
If this is their debut,
It's so
please, yeah,
comic book.
absolutely,
It looks
yeah,
so comic book adjacent.
very much so. This is like very like East meets West, like comic book style,
Yes.
graphic novel. Just yeah, 100%. Like this, I mean, this card is going to be bonkers in terms of price because everyone's gonna want this thing.
I want it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't even really collect cards like that, but I want this card.
Yeah. This is going to be an insane card to pull.
Yeah.
If you do, keep it. Do not sell it.
That thing is going to
a
be a down
cool
payment on a
card.
car.
Yeah. 100%. This is definitely the chase
awesome.
card set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super excited though for all of these cards from this set for the most part. I think we're going to see some cool some cool archetypes. I really like some of kind of the promotional accessories that they're doing with the set, including these like sleeves that they show here in the Poke Beach article with like all of like the very traditional festival style Pikachus and friends and whatnot on these cards.
Those are super cute. I love the Ethan sleeves that are very like traditional Japanese, like in like character, with it being like Johto is Japan, like
yes. Oh, and so it's like cool. It's because Johto is supposed to be very like Kyoto Japanese themed.
Oh yeah,
like
Kyoto.
It's like if you look like at Kyoto and that province in Japan where it's like more everything's more traditional and a little bit like, I mean, they even lean into that with like the autumn leaves and everything, which Kyoto's known for. It's so cool. It's like like you said, very traditional Japanese, very classic stylization.
Super nice. And the little shaman sleeves too. They're so cute.
Yeah, the shamans are cool. I actually really like the Misty sleeves. It sucks that Misty's gonna be bad because the Misty sleeves are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cynthia deck box and Cynthia stuff is cool.
The Misty's Psyduck illustration rare is also pretty.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
Okashiki.
I really want to see who did the art on these like Arven sleeves, because
I don't know.
Arven in this picture is looking very Iraqi-esque, I guess. Iraqi. The artist who does like what is it? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff.
Oh, really?
A little bit. Like something similar to that.
I'm trying to see what you mean by that, because I gotta find them first. Oh, I don't see those accessories actually.
Oh, and that in the Poke Beach article, it's towards the bottom with the.
I don't see anything sleeves. With Arven. I just see the
next to the shaman sleeves.
Next to the shaman sleeves. Oh, yes, yes, I see what you mean.
Excuse me.
Oh, also the person that did Misty's Psyduck illustration rare, Okacheke, or however you pronounce that, did a lot of cards that are pretty well known. They did even some of my favorites. They did Industry Synthesizer's Bibarel. Ooh. They did Dynamotor Flaffy. They did the Lost Origin, the pre-release Oceanic Accompaniment Finneon. They did the Hoopa V Galarian Gallery from Crown Zenith, the Hisuian Sneasler V Trainer Gallery, the Ice Rider Calyrex Trainer Gallery, the Latias EX full art, and the Latios full art.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. That I mean, they go together, but I'm so glad that like those like getting the artists to do that and in that same set, that looks so cool. Yeah.
Lots of a very nice backlog from
yeah, absolutely. I love seeing like them tap into artists.
I think this is their best work, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's
absolutely. Close. Like I love a lot of their work. I definitely love a lot of the work. I mean, Oceanic accompaniment, like Finion looks really cool, and I love that Lottie ZX. But yeah, there really isn't any substitute, I think, for this like Misty side up. This is just amazing.
Dude, if you can draw water well, you're immortal as an artist. I think it's just true.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt.
Awesome, beautiful art, beautiful cards, interesting set. I'm really excited to see it. But we are at time for the main episode. So we're going to head over to the bonus content, which, again, you can view by checking us out over at patreon.com/terminalcreative for $5 a month and get early access to the regular episodes as well as full access to our backlog of bonus content, which is what we're going to go do now. We're going to talk about our experience testing some very cool decks that we're testing out right now. One in particular that is silly. And
sleeper pick,
way better than anybody realizes. And then in addition to that, like some recent performance and upcoming performance potentially as well. But with that, let's go ahead and call the episode there. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, leave a rating on Spotify, comment on Spotify too. That is a feature. You can do that.
But
yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.